So nearby Lucas, what do you think of the character of Anakin Skywalker?
He was cool until he put on that dumb black suit, wasn't he?
Yeah. Wait, which one?
Both?
Okay. So, nearby Lucas, for this episode of Wiki Weekdays, we're of course banking on the fact that Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader has appeared in the Obi-Wan series at some point. So we're recording this before the premiere of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Like a week before, yeah, but considering the actor has been on the red carpet for it, we presume he's in there at some point.
We do, but I'm going to make a prediction right now that Darth Vader is going to be an end of episode reveal. You told me there's 6 episodes of Obi-Wan planned.
I believe that was the case, yeah.
So I'm going to make a bet right now with the folks at home, and you can let us know in the comments if we're right or wrong, that Darth Vader will be the end of episode 3.
Episode 3.
Because that's where Darth Vader appears in the Star Wars prequel trilogy.
Oh, right.
And that's and that's what it's going to do. It's going to have an episode of setup. It's going to have an episode with exploring the world in the next one. The third one's going to be all the memes.
Yeah.
Of course. I reckon as well it's going to open with hello there. I want to make that bet as well. That's the less serious one, but I bet it's going to open with Obi-Wan Kenobi like, hello there.
But do you reckon they save that until episode 3, or do you mean like episode 1, second one?
I think the very first line in the series is going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's going to be taking off the hood. Really somber and serious, then hello there, because that's what Star Wars is now. So let us know in the comments if we're right or wrong about that one, but we do know Anakin / Darth Vader is in that. And what do you think about the idea that Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, because fans may know we've done a Wiki Weekend on Darth Vader himself, are different, separate entities?
Maybe not when he's originally named Darth Vader in episode 3.
Do you think he becomes Darth Vader when the helmet goes on?
I think so, yeah, because that's when I think you start seeing the psychological change, and obviously we don't see much apart from in every fucking game and stuff they want to do between episode 3 and 4. But the difference between Anakin on Mustafar without the suit and episode 4, where he's this, very serious, just somber person, just get the job done.
Down to business, yeah. There's none of Anakin, there is nothing of Anakin left in Darth Vader by the
until the very end when he says he's Anakin again.
Yeah, and that's why you get Anakin Hayden Christensen as the Force Ghost, and I kind of like that. And I wish they doubled down and made Ewan McGregor young.
Yeah,
Obi-Wan.
That's the one thing that I don't like about it. I appreciate because that's the Anakin we know. Yeah. But then nobody else Force ghosted themselves to look younger and prettier, did they?
And I think the joke we made many years ago, where Brad did a pretty good edit, is where I said you need to put Ewan McGregor and Smooth Yoda in. Because this is before we knew about Grogu, because apparently Yoda's race are always wrinkly, even when they're babies. But do you know about Smooth Yoda? Luke, if you don't know about Smooth, I'm Googling it right now.
I think I've seen Smooth Yoda before.
You know about Smooth Yoda? It's one of those things where it's people just put filters over Yoda's face. They just make Smooth Yoda. I'm all about Smooth Yoda, mate. But anyway, Anakin Skywalker. So we have here a quote from Qui-Gon Jinn and Anakin Skywalker. So we have, do you believe you are the chosen one? How can I know? I can tell you what I believe. I believe you will bring balance to the Force, that you will face your demons and save the universe. And in a way, he does. He does bring balance to the Force by, drop kicking the Emperor down that shaft, which he survived and came back from.
But he didn't survive.
No, Lucas, somehow he returned.
No, but he didn't survive. It's that was a clone of Palpatine, wasn't it? That came back.
Do you know what?
I can't remember because it was all bullshit.
Yeah, he was a clone, but he was still fucked up. So that they fucked up the clone somehow anyway.
I can't remember, but it was shit either way.
Either way, so we have here, Anakin Skywalker was a legendary, Force-sensitive human male who was a Jedi Knight of the Galactic Republic and the prophesied chosen one of the Jedi Order, destined to bring balance to the Force. And one of the things I like about the idea of Anakin, and it's something that they kind of ruin with the addition of stuff like The Force Unleashed, is that Anakin Skywalker was the singular most powerful user of the Force in existence. And then the extended universe keeps introducing other people you never heard about who are more powerful.
Because every time you've got to introduce an OC, what do? This is the strongest person we've ever known about.
They're stronger than Darth Vader, because Darth Vader is the most powerful character and the most well-known character from the series.
And that's the one thing maybe that I like about Cal Kestis. I've played through the majority, I think about 90% of that game, and have just like not got around to the last level, and he's just such a bland character, but at least he's not the most powerful character of all time in the Star Wars universe. That's even more boring.
Yeah, he's not the apprentice.
Yeah.
Who's thankfully out of canon now. But I will say, those Force Unleashed games have one of the best representations of the Force, where it's like, oh, there's a Star Destroyer in orbit. Well, grab it. What? I can't do that. It's massive. It's like, and then they go to that quote from Yoda. It's like size and what it means nothing to the Force, and he rips that Star Destroyer out of the fucking sky. Anyway, so you would like some biographical information about Anakin Skywalker?
Yeah, sure.
We have here. Homeworld, Tatooine. Born, doesn't matter. Died, doesn't matter. Species, human. Height, 1.88 meters. And what's that in feet? Because that sounds like a lot.
About 6'2", I think.
It's 6'2", yes. So I believe that's Hayden Christensen's actual height, isn't it?
Yeah, he's quite tall.
And one of the reasons I'm actually kind of looking forward to his Obi-Wan TV show is that Hayden Christensen gets to be Darth Vader. Because the behind-the-scenes story people may not know is that Hayden Christensen was really excited to be Anakin and later Darth Vader.
Well, of course, it's Darth fucking
Vader.
Vader.
He gets to be Darth Vader, yeah. Like, irregardless of what happened, like, you know, after the movie was released and, like, you know, the poor response to it, like, he still had the opportunity to be Darth Vader. And you know that last scene where it's like, no!
Everyone knows that scene.
That's not Hayden Christensen. That's an actor. And Hayden Christensen was reportedly really annoyed about that because, like, that entire trilogy was building up to that moment. And he's like, well, I get to wear the costume, right? No. We're bringing a stuntman in because you're not tall enough. Give him some lifts. Use some, like, you know, some camera trickery, like they did like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Make him look bigger, like film him from below, make him look more imposing. Sure, he's not like 6'8", like the guy who played Darth Vader in the original trilogy was, but you can fix that. Just hire short stormtroopers.
Yeah. And like they show him so little in the suit at the end of episode 3 anyway.
Yeah, just let it be Hayden Christensen.
It's
disappointing, isn't it? It's like I think we talked about with the Iron Man movies, where Obadiah Stane, Jeff Bridges, was really upset because in his original script that he got, Obadiah Stane was meant to survive. They were going to open up the suit and see that he'd ran away and escaped. And he came onto set one day when they had like the ironmonger on the floor and went, so you're going to open it up now? It's like, oh, no, we're not filming that scene anymore. It's like, what? So, yeah, your character's dead. It's like, what? You killed my guy? I want to come back.
It's so upsetting because, yeah, he was a little bit silly and campy, but I would have loved to see Jeff Bridges get another shot at being in the MCU. He's a great actor. It's
just that thing as well, the fact he was upset about it.
Yeah.
And it's like with Hayden Christensen annoyed that he couldn't be, and now he is allowed to be Darth Vader, and he's really happy about it. He gets to wear the costume.
And it's even a cool thing to be Darth Vader now, but back when Episode 1 had come out and Star Wars was still...
It was hot shit,
just, you know,
cultural
mythical thing of just the coolest thing in all of sci-fi was Star Wars.
It's the most well-known villain in all of fiction.
Yeah.
Like, the way I've heard it described is, in 500 years' time, people will still know who Darth Vader is.
I mean, maybe?
Well, think like, you know, he's one of those villains now where he's going to exist in media. As long as media exists, Darth Vader will exist. So like Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes, like that character will always exist in some way, shape or form because the cultural footprint it has is so large. Same for Darth Vader.
Can't wait for Darth Vader to become like just public domain.
That'd be great. Just it already pretty much is where all like the fan stuff people move. But anyway, one thing I would like to cover though is that his cybernetics. He has the cybernetic right arm and then later prosthetic arms, legs, and a life support system. So that's like that common trope in Star Wars that everyone loses the right arm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And apparently like the cybernetics in that universe are so seamless you barely notice it.
Well, there's the shot, isn't it, where Luke's just messing with his arm. And it's like, yeah, just, okay, go back to being a regular arm, put the glove on.
Yeah, I will say, though, when I watch, like, The Mandalorian and they have an episode where... Ooh, that's a friend of mine, I'll turn this. Because we're waiting on Brad and Nisha to turn up.
Yeah.
They're not at the office just yet, so that might be them outside now, let us in.
Just like, please, let us in the
office. It's not The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, where...
God, I haven't seen that.
Ming-Na Wen, she gets cybernetics, and she gets an entire cybernetic torso. And they do it without any blood whatsoever. And it's like, that's stupid. There's no way you can replace someone's fucking torso and their spine like on a table without any like anesthesia or like that. So I can believe in that universe you can jury rig an arm or an eyeball, or a leg or a foot or a hand, not someone's torso. That's like a very like critical part of the human anatomy right there.
I guess that's just you've got to have suspension of disbelief, I guess, but.
Ah, Luke, does that mean if you've not seen that series, does that mean you've not seen the Vespas?
I've seen the Vespas
You've seen
online,
the Space Vespas.
And that made me just commit to not watching it.
So, Lucas, would you like to move on to the fun stuff, powers and abilities?
I mean, yeah, and I just want to mention that it sucks that he doesn't get the coolest power in all of Star Wars.
Force lightning.
He could for about a second before Obi-Wan just like cut him off.
Yeah, and people are wondering why can't Darth Vader use Force lightning or Anakin. Anakin theoretically has the potential to use it, but he's not a dark Sith long enough to learn the skill. And he can't use it as Darth Vader because the electricity would fry all of his circuits. And there's a thing about Darth Vader where the Emperor constantly threatens him with Force lightning just to beat it. So we have here, lightsaber abilities. And we have a quote here from Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you had spent as much time practicing your saber technique as you do your wit, you would rival Master Yoda as a swordsman. And then Anakin responds, I thought I did. And that's like, the thing is that when you're talking, this is like prequel trilogy Yoda.
Yeah.
This is like quick scoping turbo flip Yoda. This is like Soul Calibur 4 Yoda.
The thing, I just like to think in my head, Anakin said that before he saw the Count Dooku fight, and then was, oh no.
No one's better than Yoda. I don't think I've mentioned this before. I'm going to mention it again. Lucas, do you think that prequel trilogy fight with Yoda would have been improved, made worse, or been the same if they used the puppet of Yoda on a string and span it around? Do you think it would have been better or worse?
It would have been immersion breaking, but with how stupid those movies are anyway, I would have fucking loved it.
Yeah, do you think they should have just got puppet Yoda on a string and span it around? But I always just think they say, oh, you bring back the practical effects to Star Wars, practical effect puppet Yoda on a stick would have been amazing.
Oh god.
Do you know when you have old horror movies where they get to a tribble or something? It's
it's
the actors pretend do that with the puppet of Yoda as he's punching. No, despite being naturally extremely talented, Anakin Skywalker was initially lax with his lightsaber training, though he believed he could rival the Jedi Masters despite his relative laziness. He was the best duelist in his class, even though he started later than all of his classmates. And I like that he has such amazing potential. He doesn't even need to practice.
So many midichlorians.
So many. He's just gushing with midichlorians, he's just pouring out of every orifice.
And I love to mention them just because I know that it pisses off those Star Wars fans so much.
They've spent 30 years trying to retcon that one line. That single line basically puts Star Wars on a path to what it is today of it exists as a meme.
Yeah.
It has more cultural value as a meme to the majority of people our age than it does as a piece of art or culture. By the time he was 19, Skywalker was gifted and skilled in dueling, and he believed he already rivaled Master Yoda, and he was skilled enough to hold his own against the most skillful swordsman in the galaxy, Count Dooku, lasting much longer than Obi-Wan Kenobi. And that's where he cuts Count Dooku's head off, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where the turn happens, and the Emperor's sitting there do it.
Do it.
And Count Dooku wait, no, this was not part of the plan, you duped me.
Also as well, where you get one of the coolest visuals that they completely abandoned, which is Anakin holding a blue lightsaber and a red lightsaber, both sides of the Force. The symbolic representations of both sides, and he's holding them. And it's that at that point, he should have not dropped either.
How fucking cool would it have been if that was his fighting style for the rest of that movie?
Using both, and then he throws the blue one aside to fight with the red one.
No, I would absolutely loved it if that would fight in Mustafar was Anakin just twirling around with two lightsabers.
It's that thing, isn't it? It's whenever you have any Star Wars game where you can dual wield lightsabers, it's do you pick lightsabers that are the same fucking colour? Hell no, you don't.
No, you fucking don't. I always go for the purple and gold ones. It's
and I like the purple one as well, where the purple, it's red and blue mixed together, and it's supposed to be a flex on the Sith of I can use your techniques without succumbing to the dark side.
Right, yeah.
Which is the bullshit explanation they had after the fact.
Of course,
because Sam Jackson
to just make Mace Windu cool because Sam Jackson wanted purple.
Have you heard as well? There's a rumor that Mace Windu's coming back, and there's a petition let him stay dead. Let him stay, but then Sam Jackson wants to get paid, which I respect.
Yeah, and he also just wants to come back and style on everyone, which I also respect.
Yeah, and again, I think we should use get Sam Jackson on a string and spin him around. I don't care that he's 75 years old. Fucking do it. During his duel with Kenobi, he proved to be equally matched with his former master. No, he wasn't.
Were they equally matched, Carl? Because I think they might have been equally matched.
And that's where you get that thing of who would win. One Obi-Wan Kenobi on top of Mount Everest or a million Darth Vaders.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? Of technically they were evenly matched, but then the high ground came in.
And it's that thing of he has that childish arrogance about him, where it's I am the greatest. It's but you never practiced, but I am the best. And it says after he became Darth Vader, so we can't talk about Darth Vader, we've already done that one. And then We have where's force powers? Fucking force power, here we go. So, blessed with impressive reflexes, typical of a Jedi, Qui-Gon Jinn saw enormous potential in the 9-year-old Skywalker and believed him to be conceived by the Force itself. And that's like, again, they've spent years trying to like move away from that.
And had lots of midichlorians, fine.
It's canon, but they don't like that it's canon.
They don't.
When he was 9, he was already skilled in having reflexes and precognition. You know, that's why he's such a good podcast racer. He's such a good pod racer.
Hi guys, welcome to the Anakin Skywalker podcast.
Can you imagine Darth Vader on a podcast? That'd be fucking great. He's able to sense where things were without looking at them, which probably out when he was Darth Vader and he had that fucking giant ass helmet. In his teen years, his force training progressed to the point he was able to levitate a pair. He doesn't say that, but I just love that he does. And the thing is, it's a CGI pair. Why is it a CGI? Why could it could have been a pair on a string and you CGI out of a string?
Yeah, and just there was no impact, and then like Natalie Portman clearly not chewing anything or biting into it.
Yeah, and she's like unable to act against this completely invisible CGI thing.
It's like, just eat the invisible fruit, damn it. What?
He was able to scan his surroundings, such as sensing poisonous creatures infiltrating Amidala's bedroom from standing outside. So he stood outside Amidala's bedroom, sensing what's going on inside, all right? And disturbances in the Force. He had an aptitude for precognitive dreams when he foresaw the deaths of both his mother and his wife in his dreams, but also himself becoming a Jedi. And they said, however, Skywalker struggled in using the Force to control and befriend animals. Notice that Kenobi was much better at it than he was. He was skilled at telekinesis, and by his own admission, he was very good at it. He could lift lightsabers in the air and ignite them with ease. That's scary.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think like the lightsaber throw is one of the scariest things anyone. Like Force lightning is terrifying, but throwing a lightsaber to me is just so much more horrifying because it's just this whirling beam of death.
Like realistically, how is Darth Maul not the most powerful Sith in all existence? He just Force throwing a double-ended lightsaber everywhere.
It's insane, yes. And during the Clone Wars, his powers and skills continued to increase, and began capable of using telekinesis to accomplish esoteric feats of creating air bubbles around another person's head to allow him to breathe underwater. Do you remember that bit as well? In like,
I thought they had like the breathers though, don't they?
But then he can
is
make
that just a flex?
He makes a bubble around someone's head. Do you remember as well when they do that thing where they run real fast? But they only do it in that one shot in the prequels.
Just to get them out. Like, cause it's that first bit where the droidekas show up, isn't it?
And they never do it again.
It's not even, like, they make it look like super speed, but it's basically they just frame them really quickly out.
Yeah, and they never do it again. Even though that would be the most used. It's like, and you only see it like in the sequels where, oh, Kylo Ren jumps like 400 foot through the air. It's like, why is he not always doing that?
There's so many examples of
they could have done
powers being used one time. Like, how many times does Darth Vader through all of the trilogy like force choke people?
Even though he should be doing that all the time.
He constantly,
he should be doing it every time.
And he can do it, like, can't he do it remotely as well?
Yes, he does it to a guy when he's talking to him on Zoom.
Yeah.
So realistically, all he needs to do is like email, like, you know, the Emperor. The Emperor opens it and then start force choking the Emperor. No force lightning there, sucker. So we have to cut this short because Brad and Nisha are outside right now, and I'm wondering how salty they're going to be getting it to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because I know Brad would want to say hello there. So I guess, Brad, if you end up being in the editing process of this one, or if you happen to be about and have your microphone free, you can just record your best hello there for the audience at home.
Hello there.